Well, it's about the time to say it face to face. Um, the moon was hitting on the 22nd degree of Taurus earlier this month. And if you're an astrologer and you don't know what happened when Uranus was there, then I'm gonna call you out for being a wacky astrologer because it was pretty evident. And it was not happy month to be a pro-peace, pro-Palestinian people, pro-life, not in the murder mothers instead of their children, but life to life kind of a person this month at all. Because not only were your colleagues and their friends and families slaughtered, sacrificed in rituals in the most horrid ways, while you, if you're an astrologer like me, already knew this is Agenda 2030, got nothing to do with any local card they pull to try to push us into it. And all I was doing the 7th of October, sending messages of love to the world, not knowing if our village is going to be slaughtered or not. And then you wake up to the deafening silence of your colleagues that basically don't bother to check, is it your family? No. But they're going to be free Palestine a week later, and when you're mentioning to them that something happened 7th of October, something to do with beheading women and children and men and raping and kidnapping children, elderly people, a massacre at a party that was a nature party of people who were mainly pro-Palestinian. None of that. Like, they just free Palestine. You're gaslighting. So that meant a lot of blocking, a lot of separation from a lot of people that you thought were people. And that meant that for very, very, very long time, the deafening silence and the worldwide threats really, there's a sentence in Hebrew that says, הרגל של החזיר מציצה מתחת למפה הלבנה, which means the leg of the Schweine, okay, the pig, pops out beneath the white map that covers the table. And that basically popped up because the people who were slaughtered were not Zionists. If they were, it was in the form of let's grow agriculture and build a family and save our country. But they were also the people that were helping Palestinian people from Gaza to receive medical care. And they were slaughtered because of that. Let there be no mistake. It was a betrayal from within. Okay, which is why it was so surprising that people outside did not bother to mention it. And not only that, I've seen stuff like a statue of a beheaded woman out of the neck, which were a candle, and she's chained. And I thought, in my innocence, that this is basically astrological delineation of what happened to women that were raped and beheaded in front of their families and children, and men that were raped to death, basically, and tortured and burned to death, just very much like the Holocaust. But no, it was a part of a ritual of sacrifice of these women in what they thought would somehow free Palestine. It won't. If you mistreat women, it doesn't matter how many times you kiss the soil the land, the soil, is the same element, the element of women and sisterhood and sisters and fertility. Stop raping and your land will be fertile. This is true regardless of nationality. It's basic shamanism. If you didn't, slaughter indigenous communities, then you would know. And being an Israeli person at this time was horrid. Pretty fucking horrid. The entire, there is no word to describe that. There is no word to describe that. This is not something that will be forgotten. It's not something that will just let it slide. It's not so, people remember. On the counter, I can tell you that there were some non-Dutch people living in Netherlands that were very supportive neighbors and people that were very supportive of Israelis living in Netherlands. Not all of them at all. And these are the things that a person remembers. While we Israelis were busy making sure that our Arab Israelis feel well, that we send out messages of peace to people in Gaza, that if you were a Druze or an Arab Israeli, you didn't feel left out or like we were against you. The world was busy ignoring us. This will not let it slide. This will not be forgotten for decades. And it's not something you can just take back now. Now, no. Now, no. Now, no. People were the projections that people have, like if you're an Israeli, you're a Zionist. I am an Israeli woman. I'm a daughter of a Holocaust survivor who did not get any money from the German government because the Israeli government is corrupt, and did not get the chance to make a life while making a living because there is sexism in our country all across the board, no matter what you do. Okay? The fuck? The fuck? What? Who are you? What do you know of us? You know nothing. People projecting that if you mention the massacre that happened to Israelis, you're justifying a genocide. We were risking our lives to speak up against what our government, the way it responded, and the very great delay in tending to what happened, so much so that Yom Kippur, even before it happened, because we were too busy listening to veterans, while you are putting them in the street and in working camps and saying that they make bad choices with their life and they live pests life, pest, like they need a pesticide, like DDT, like Nazi. But you're projecting that on us Israelis. That's literally what happened in the majority of the community, including women who have been through sexual boundary violation, including BIPOC women, including gay women, including Black people, descendants of slavery, that ask me if I have documents of the Holocaust that happened in the 7th of October. These were our colleagues and families that lost. But reality check, Saturn in Pisces heading to go direct. Reality check, get uncorrupted. You're talking to people who lost people? Do we have documents? You want documents? You'll get them from Schwab because they're going to come to you too. Now to take it back? No, now you cannot take all that deafening silence from nearly the entire community, except for the people that are not included in that did tend to that. But like now, no, now you cannot take it back. No. We are almost in November. This happened in 7th of October. Now you cannot take it back. Comparing Palestine to Rojava, do you have any more disgrace? Palestinians to Rojava? Palestinians were ISIS to women, to little girls, to LGBTQ. Comparing Palestine to Rojava, I've never seen anything more disgraceful than that towards Palestinian women and LGBTQ. The only person that I've seen saying something so simple, such as how awful is the reality of war and wishing good on the people who are suffering from any type of war and conflict, which would have been so easy to do. Because it makes sense, because there is Ukraine and Russia, there is Israel and Palestine, there is Pakistan and India, there is Taiwan and China, there is Texas and the US. Like it was so simple to tend to that. And everybody did everything wrong, from the deafening silence to projections to downright calling people gaslighter Nazis and asking us for documents for what happened in the 7th of October. Like, this is beyond disgusting. Like, when Pluto hits Aquarius, then that is we the people. This is what we the people did. You can't blame your government for that. You can't blame your government for that. This is what we, the people, did to we, the people. That's it.